Right guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and this is the truth about Football Manager 22 or Football Manager in general youth intakes. So, first of all, I'm going to bring up a screen that came from the forums, and it's a post by a member of staff at Football Manager. So basically it's the truth that you'd expect. And then I'm going to sort of prove it in the game, if that makes sense, just to sort of give you like visual examples, we'll call them. So, without further ado, let me bring up the information and then let me move my camera. Bang, there we are. Right, so, it says, there is often lots of speculation about what impacts the youth intake and what you as a player can do in order to get the best intake you can, and below is the information we have thanks to Seb. So this is his name, Seb Wassel, right? He's on Twitter, I think it's the same if you want to find him and give him a follow. If I just pull this up myself, because I'm reading it off the screen, so it's easier for me to find. There we are. Right. So, it says, second line down now, right? It says, newgens and youth intake. So, it says your youth recruitment, and it says what it is. So, youth recruitment is the club's recruiting of juniors, those of home and foreign origin. So, when you poach someone or you get someone through that's not quite the country you're managing in, that's why. The youth facilities, the training facilities available for juniors only. So the youth facilities does not apply to visible players already at the club. So the youth facilities, that only counts to people in your academy that you can't see yet, that's coming through under the hood sort of thing. Junior coaching is the quality and quantity of junior coaches at the club. So if you've got exceptional junior coaching, not only have you brilliant junior coaches, but you also have a lot of them. And that basically, the junior coaching affects the current ability of your players, not the potential. I'm pretty sure it's the current ability. So how good they come through straight away at the level they're at. Nation youth rating, the potential and maximum quality and quantity of juniors produced in that nation. So if you don't know, I'm gonna explain almost everything as if you don't know anything. So if you do know, ignore me. If you don't, listen. The nation youth rating, if you go into the editor, which you can't yet, but if you do, when the editor comes out, just to familiarise yourself, every single nation has a rating out of 200. So I think Brazil is the highest at like 160 or 1 something anyway. And each nation has a youth rating, and the higher it is, obviously, the better and the more the quantity and quality will be bigger and larger in a higher number, right? So if you're looking at San Marino, it's probably going to be like 30. I don't know what it is. It's close to like 0, but so yeah, they have pretty much no newgens unless they're Italian San Marino. You know what I mean? But yeah, an outright San Marinese? Is it San Marinese? If you have an outright San Marinese player, he's probably not going to be very good unless you've just got a 1 in a million shot. But what I should add to this, that it doesn't mention this because this was from last FM. This FM, they've announced that there's something called dynamic youth ratings. So yes, San Marino might have 30 out of 200, but if you do a save with a San Marino team, which obviously you can't yet, you have to download something that's one of the community have made, like a league that's in San Marino that someone's made, you actually can improve the San Marino youth rating, right? Slowly but surely, it'll be a grind. It'll take you years, but you can get it up. In previous FMs, it was fixed, hard-coded to be there, and that was it. So that's a big change. So just thought I'd add that one in as well. The game importance, that's something in the editor that you guys can't see. So how important football is considered to be in that nation. So in England, it would be highly important. That's something else you can set in the editor. In like San Marino, again, I'm going to use England and San Marino because I live in England and San Marino are probably the worst team that I can think of that England play regularly. Sorry to anybody that's from there. So, San Marino have, I think there's 5 options. I think there's very important, like a balanced one, and then unimportant and largely unimportant. I think they're the 5. San Marino has largely unimportant. Basically, the country, they're not that bothered about what happens. And England, obviously, very important. Producing newgens. The clubs with the best youth recruitment will generally pick up the best junior talent from that nation first. The scale of that talent being determined by the nation youth rating and game importance, the 2 I've just mentioned. The lower the youth recruitment, the further down the pecking order a club will find itself. Two clubs with identical youth recruitment will be sorted by club reputation. Being lower down this pecking order does not mean quality newgens cannot be produced. It simply lowers the chances. So it's basically a rat race to get the best newgens, like it is in real life, right? Like Seb says, if your youth recruitment, so if I've got the, let's say I am, on this save I'm Olympiacos, so it probably doesn't work, but let's say I'm in the Championship. Let's say I'm Barnsley, that's my hometown team. Let's say I have exceptional youth recruitment with Barnsley in the Championship, but Man City also have exceptional youth recruitment. Now, we are there because we've got the same youth recruitment, but Man City have higher club rep. They're a better team, bigger club, so they're there. So they go there, they get the better ones. So that's like a sorting thing. So like in the Champions League or whatever, any sort of competition, there's like away goals, there's goal differential, all that stuff, results against teams. That's just another sorting mechanism. And then it says, youth facilities and junior coaching then simulate and determine how that junior progresses in the club's junior system until a newgen is produced and appears in the game. So that's something I want to show you in a minute on the screen on FM. I'm going to get rid of this screen and I'm going to put FM on and I'm going to show you what that means. So remember that part. It says how a junior progresses in the junior system. So in FM we don't have the junior system, but it is going on. You just can't see it, and I'll prove it in a second. And then it says appears in game, and if it's at this point that the current ability, CA, and the potential ability, PA, of the newgens are decided. The above factors all contribute to CA and PA equally. Right, so the junior coaching, I think, is the current ability. I think that's the most one. I think that someone told me that, and I think it was someone that works for SI. And the youth recruitment, I think, is how good they are and the level of them. Now, going to the main man that's going to be bringing all this together, and something I'm going to touch upon as well in here. It's a little bit of a tip, so stick around because it's a tip near the end of the video. The club's head of youth development is responsible for bringing newgens into the club. He will influence what type of players are selected and can partially or fully pass on his personality to some of these newgens. The type of players selected refer to a player's position and style. For instance, a head of youth with a preferred 4-5-1 formation and a technical coaching style may produce more technical style midfielders than another head of youth. The head of youth will also influence the rare freak or exceptional newgens that sometimes come through, modifying their ability and style at their age. This role is filled by the head of youth by default. However, if none is employed, whichever staff member is set to be responsible for youth development will fill his role. So that's the tip at the end, and I'll show you guys how to find that, how to set it, because a lot of you guys might be playing through the FM, through your saves, you might be getting awful youth intakes, you might be thinking, why is that happening? I've got fantastic facilities. And it might be because your head of youth is not actually bringing through your players. He's in the club, but effectively he's doing nothing. And I'll show you how to correct that and to check it in case. And then it says youth intake preview and junior player poaching. I'll go through them real quick, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. In FM22, the Development Centre will provide a preview of the upcoming intake ahead of the day itself. Now, the person who's reposted this, I think he's changed it from FM21, because this original information was FM21. So I think he's just changed, wherever it says FM21, I think he's just changed it to 22 and then posted it again. So this was posted on FM21. The Development Centre will provide a preview of the upcoming youth intake ahead of the day itself. We've all done that, right? Gone into Development Centre and we've seen the preview. This preview will provide some information of the general quality. Blah, blah, blah. Right, we know that. And then obviously the poaching thing. We've all had players poached. It's possible for juniors to be poached from another club's youth system. Again, because you can't click on that player, he is in the junior section. We can't see, right? But he's there because we've got a message saying that he's been poached by Bayern Munich or whoever. This will most commonly occur from smaller reputation clubs to big reputation clubs. Yeah, of course, that does happen. When this occurs, an inbox item is received, offering a few details on the player that has been poached. Poached players will appear in the next appropriate youth intake. So you can actually, what I do in my saves is every time I get a message saying I've had someone poached, I will write the name down in like a document, and every time, end of every single season, I will go through and search those players and see which players that I got poached and if there's any good players that I got poached. Just a little something I like to do. Right, anyway, to the game, and we are here. Right, we have this guy called Mohamed Mathieu, right? He's come through in Belgium as Mohamed, and he's at Beerschot. He's a Belgian player. He's fantastic. He's a model citizen. He's absolutely brilliant. He's going to be the next big thing in this save game, right? Now, I picked him because he has the best rep, or one of the best reps in this save. Now, if I go into his biography, not all newgens have biographies. I went into this guy because I think he's been playing some first team football for Beerschot. Yeah, he's played a season and a half, basically. So, sorry, if I go back into him, right. Now, he came through in 2021, right? Correct. So that would make him what? 15? Because he's nearly 18 now. So it would have been 15 when he came through on account of there can't be 14-year-olds coming through anymore. There used to be 14-year-olds, but I think they stopped it because it was sort of like against a rule. Now, 2021 he came through. Now, if I go to his biography that's been generated, and I also lower my cam box back down to where it was. Bang. Sorry, let me just show that again. I think you missed it. He's a model citizen, just to let you know. It doesn't have to be a model citizen, by the way. It happened to be one. Now, I go into his biography, and it says, Mohamed Mathieu is a player with a growing reputation among fans in Belgium. He made his senior debut in the Pro League, playing for Beerschot. Right? All good. And then it says underneath, this is the bit that's important, it says, he spent his entire career at Beerschot, joining in May 2018. Yeah? 2018. So, we understand that he came through in 2021 into the playable section, so we can click on him and view him. But under the hood, he was generated in 2018. So when we loaded the save up, he was already there. So that suggests to me that when you load a save up, not only is everything else random in terms of newgens, but we'll call them junior newgens that you can't see yet, they are also produced under the hood. Right, so they're also randomised. So there's people just underneath that are about to come through and burst through that we don't even know about yet, which is quite crazy. So he did come through in May 2018. Now that can't be possible because we started on FM22. So he must have come through the intake 2018. Now we know he came through at 15, right? So if we go further back, he obviously came through when he was 12 years old. So he was actually in the academy at 12. Now, the tip I'm going to give at the end of this video is I'm going to do it now. So if you wanted to hear about that, if you go into staff, right, this is very important. If you go into staff, and then you go into responsibilities, and then you go into advice and reports, right? If you go in there, and then you see all these little options. Now, this one here provides youth development information. Now, if you hover over it, look what it says. It says, whoever's in charge of this brings through the next generation of young players coming through the ranks at the club. So the guy I just mentioned in Belgium, this is the guy that does it. Now, if you click on there, you might not have your head of youth set. It might be your director of football, your under-19s manager, or even a technical director if you have one. Now, I always make sure I do this at every single club. Now, I don't know the percentages, but I'll throw one out there. 75% of the time, maybe. 50%, I don't know. Most of the time, it will be set to your head of youth. But I have found instances, and I have also spoke about this on stream, on Twitch, and some people have gone in, had a look, and it is not their head of youth. So it's not the person that they think is in charge of that. Now, if I go to my head of youth, I can't remember his name now, Theodorus, right? He's actually not bad, right? He's not bad. His personality could be better. But if you sack your head of youth, right? If you sack him, and you get a brand new one in, that head of youth needs about 3 or 4 seasons before he can have his impact on the people coming through. Apologies, I don't know what's going on with my voice today, but just go with it. I think I'm coming down with something. So Theodorus joined in 2019, right? So he has had full control over newgens that have come through Olympiacos since this game started, right? But if you I'm going to sack this guy. I actually am. I've got a new guy coming in. Let me find him. Where is he? Staff. He'll be at the bottom, right? It is Alekos Natalakouros. This guy, who's, in my opinion, better. He's not only got a better rep, so he should be able to convince more newgens to come to us. He's also playing a 4-4-2, and I'm going to start playing two-striker formation. He's also a passing playing style, which means he might be influence more technical style players, which is what I want. And he's also got better attributes here. Now, his work with youngsters isn't as high. But again, I think reputation is quite important for my head of youth. Now, he's just all-round better in my opinion because his personality. But when I bring this guy in, there is already young players under the hood that I've mentioned before in this video. There's already players under that the other guy has produced and moulded. So Alekos, when he comes in, or Alikos, when he comes in, he's going to have to work with new players. So he's going to have to generate new players that are 14 years old, like the guy in Belgium. So by the time they get to 17, this guy will have full control over them. So I might have to wait 2 or 3 seasons to see his full results with my intakes, right? Now, I'm not saying he can't have any influence on the players that are coming through in the next one that comes through. He probably will have a little bit of a decision on who comes through, how he moulds them, how he coaches them, right? But to see the true power of the new head of youth that you employ, you probably have to wait 2 or 3 years to see the impact, like 100% impact of your new souped up head of youth if you employ one. So don't employ one and immediately think, oh, it's an awful intake, it's his fault, sack him and get someone else. So you might be in a constant cycle of bad intake, sack him, bad intake, sack him. Now what's happening there is you're not actually letting the new head of youth get his hands on the players, so to speak. So that's a little bit about head of youth and youth intakes. So I hope that clears up some things. If it doesn't, let me know. If you any comments, like I always say, put them in the comment section below, and I will reply. Now, what I won't do is talk bullshit. So if I don't know something, I'll just say to you guys, I don't know something, right? If I do say something, it's because I've had it verified or I've seen it in action and I can pretty much be certain that it's the case. So thank you for watching. Apologies for the voice. I don't know what's going on. I think I might be coming down with something, like I said. But yeah, I'll be streaming tonight. I'm streaming 6 days a week, so go and follow the Twitch. It's down below. I've got more videos coming out, more interesting videos, things that you guys might be thinking, oh, I don't quite know about that sort of thing. Like, I'm going to be doing a video on tactics, etc., like how to create your own if you're struggling with that. And yeah, hopefully you hit like the video. If you do, obviously leave a like. Obviously subscribe. That'd be nice. And until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.